At 13, I was making more money than most of the grown-ups in the neighborhood. I mean, I had more money than I could spend. I had it all. One day, some of the kids from the neighborhood carried my mother's groceries all the way home. You know why? It was out of respect.
No power in the verse can stop me.
What's going on, guys? My name is Eldenero, and welcome to episode 38 of the Midnight Hour.
Yeah.
That sounds even more funny for some reason tonight.
Sounds even more racist.
Yeah.
What's going on, guys?
Why is it so loud at the start?
I don't know.
I know
That's how you do it, isn't it?
It is how, yeah, I do always say,
But
like,
not that loud.
what's going on? Sometimes, like, I actually, like, fuck up the intro myself, and I go, like, no, I can't think of what I do now. I go, like, what's going on, guys? El De Niro here. Or, like, what's up, guys? El De Niro here. And then I'm like, that's not even my intro, is it? And then sometimes I don't remember what it is, but I've pressed record.
Go back
and
and
just
watch it.
Ooh, let's get ready to rumble. I don't do that ever. That's not
We could do something different, like, what's happening, fellas?
I'm not doing that.
If I
What?
just did, like, if I just changed my intro for one video, I wonder, like,
Yeah.
how many people would comment on it.
Yeah.
If that's the thing that I did.
Just take a sound grab of Lucy doing a ridiculously racist German accent.
Which you may hear.
Hello,
in this episode.
guys.
This is actually the start of the episode. I'm using this. Welcome to episode 38.
What?
I'm joined in studio
Oh, shit.
by my in-studio guests who are in my studio. Loosemore from Mexico.
Hello.
Same as last time.
And Hack Brown.
What?
I'm sure that's how Jack is pronounced in Spanish.
Yeah, no, it's whack.
Is it Juan?
It's whack, innit?
It's
No,
Juan.
Juan is John, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Jack is whack.
Do you know what the Scottish name for John is?
Andrew.
Yes.
Sean.
Well,
No,
no,
it's not.
Sean is the Irish Gaelic one. The Scottish one is Ian.
Oh, really?
I think so. I don't know. I could have made that up, in all honesty. You would not know.
What's
Oh, so
Ian
Jack,
in English?
Jack is a form of John, so that's where Juan is come from.
There's a lot of people whose names are John, but their nickname is Jack.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that all about? Hey, my name's John, but you can call me Jack for short.
And you're like, no.
the
I'm not
same
going to
four
do that.
letters.
The same for it's still one syllable.
Yeah, it's a strange one. I don't get that, the whole name thing. Personally, I think Jack is a terrible name. Just kidding.
I think your name is terrible, and I'm willing to tell everyone what it is now.
Yeah.
It's going to be in the comment section by the end of this video now. Anyway.
Yep.
That's
Well, it'd be me.
what
It'd be me writing it. So.
yeah. There's actually, like, there's two people who are subscribed to me called Jack Brown, and neither of them are you. So that's pretty weird.
I mean, someone followed you the other day called Jack Brown, didn't they?
Yeah, and there's another Jack Brown as well from somewhere else who usually
That's
follows
fucking terrifying.
Are we even subscribers to our own podcast, Jack?
No, I'm not subscribed to this.
No, me neither. Yeah.
Well, fuck you guys.
Well, I'm not going to watch it. It's a load of shit.
Yeah.
You would say that, though, because you've contributed to it.
Ooh, burn.
Yeah. Sit the fuck down if you're not already seated, because this is a podcast and I don't want you to get tired.
I'm lying down, so I couldn't be more seated.
Are you lying down?
Yeah, sort of.
I could not do this while lying down. I don't take this lying down. That's a saying, I'm sure.
But you,
Yeah,
you make
it's all
it
about
sound
lions, though, isn't it? It's more
It makes it sound
wrestling
fun,
lions.
all the effort into this.
That's true. I explained. Just Jack is terrible, basically. Like he does nothing, and it's
Well, you enjoyed me having breakfast a minute ago, didn't you?
No.
Did you not? That's weird.
enjoyed you having breakfast. I listened to you and your crunching assault my eardrums for about 10 minutes, and
It was 5 minutes.
it was terrible either way. Anyways, we have a topic for today. It's going to take some fucking doing to beat the last few topics that we've had, because we're on a good roll at the moment, and that has been reflected in the number of likes and comments and stuff. I say comments because last week we asked you guys to comment, and everyone pasted what they had saved in their copy-paste thing, and Did you guys actually look through it? I'm guessing no, because
No.
you guys are terrible.
No.
I did. Saw a lot of interesting things. And a lot of nonsense, too. But that's okay, because I find nonsense interesting. So today we're going to talk about superpowers. Like America and Russia, for example. What are those countries hiding? What makes them so much more powerful than everybody else? No. We're going to be talking about the good kind of superpowers. Like the ones that are in movies and
In me.
and comics and in Jack Brown. The superpower to have a perfectly normal functioning brain, yet somehow remain completely stupid when it comes to certain things.
Oh.
I don't really know how to go about doing this. As usual, that shouldn't even surprise anybody. But what is your favourite superpower, each of you? Loosemore, in alphabetical order we'll go. Alphabetical of first names, because Loosemore... Yeah. Loosemore, what's your favourite superpower?
Laser eyes.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, the Superman one. And X-Men.
Yeah, Cyclops has
that
got it
really
as well.
nerdy looking horrible guy.
Yeah.
He's
He's
fuck is
technically the
laser
leader
eyes?
of the X-Men, alright.
Cyclops, is he?
Yeah, but no one because everyone's a big fan of Wolverine. No one gives a shit about the nerdy guy in the corner who's spatting off red things from his eyes.
I used to think that Cyclops was actually pretty cool in the cartoon of X-Men, but when I saw the movies, I was like, that guy is just so lame. Like,
Yeah.
What is a laser eye?
it's
When
can
you
you
shoot
really not
lasers
figure that out? Like,
from your eyes.
Yeah, but what do they do?
What?
What does a laser do?
Oh, it cuts through things.
Oh, right, okay.
wait, Superman
like
doesn't
in
have laser eyes. He has X-ray eyes.
Who?
Superman.
Nah, he has laser eyes as well. But his is more for I-beam lasers, like heating up things or stuff like that.
You ever
In fact,
notice,
Superman
like,
can just do everything, can't he? So.
you know, like the way movies evolve in the way that, like, the first ever horror movie had scary music and tense scenes, and then
Yeah.
it moved into, like, then they had, like, scary music, tense scenes, and gore, and then they had, like, fantasy element, and now horror movies are all generally the same. Like, they've evolved into that. Isn't it really weird the way comics were like, here's the first ever superhero, Superman. He has all of the powers that can ever possibly be attributed to one person.
Because when they first thought of it, they'll think, well, no one's going to write any more comics after this. This is going to be the only comic. We've got to include everything we know in this. And
yeah. How did anyone ever start again and just go, yeah, well, he's kind of like Superman, except he only has one of Superman's powers.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, okay, that seems a bit weird.
That's why I think they nailed it with Batman. They just went, alright, here's a guy with none of that shit.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he has no superpowers anymore. But, Jack, what's your favourite superpower?
Invisibility.
Yeah,
or flying.
I was thinking that.
That's a good one, isn't it? Yeah.
Invisibility is good, but how do you kind of cap it? Like, what? You're invisible. Like, you have the power to turn yourself invisible. Does that include the clothes that you're wearing?
Yes, of course it does.
Now,
Because I wouldn't want to be floating clothes.
yeah, that'd be strange, alright. But have you ever seen the movie Hollow Man?
No.
Good, no, it's terrible. But if you were invisible and you went to a shop and opened the cash register and put all the money in your pocket, does the money become invisible because it goes into your pocket?
I don't actually know.
Well, this is your fantasy now, Jack. Does it or doesn't it?
I don't know. I think I'll just walk up to people and slap them or something. I think that would be there'd be a better payoff for that than I would.
Are you invisible all the time?
No, it's an on and off.
It's an on and off thing. Right?
Yeah.
What, you turn it off with your brain, yeah?
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
that, like, rattling noise?
Is it?
Are you touching your microphone?
No.
It's like rattling around every time you talk. It's really weird.
I don't know.
Invisibility is good. I think my favorite superpower would be the ability to control time, or just to quite simply stop time.
It's a pretty good one.
Like,
Yeah, that would be cool.
Bernard's Watch was a show that we all watched in immense disappointment as Bernard, like, ruined everybody's fantasies by stopping time and using it for the power of good and never to do anything even remotely selfish. That was really strange, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's sort of unrealistic. Not because of the whole time stopping thing, but I think put it in anyone's hands and they'll use it for their own self-worth, their own good first, wouldn't they?
Yeah, because, like, who's going to fucking find out about it?
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't tell anyone about it.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. I don't... It's really weird because
But
It's
there's only a certain amount of, like, what would you do to it without attracting attention? Like, you can't do the same sort of crime over and over, because if you had made a crime to be rich, or did something to be rich, like won the lottery or something, you couldn't then do it again.
Why are you doing this stuff for bad, Jack?
It's just more interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think we just got a glimpse into the whole Jack psyche there.
But what kind of, how would you do it for good?
Well,
of course, you could stop. I think I'd be good enough to stop certain crimes, like stop someone getting murdered or something.
Yeah.
Stop Mitt Romney running for president.
Yeah. I'd just walk up to a Hitler and say, just stop doing it.
Hey, you.
Hey, you stop. Stop it. Just stop it.
Yeah, if that doesn't do it, I don't know what will.
I know. That was still see right through that.
Just going to poke him in the chest until he just stops killing Jews.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would use it for good, but you'd be stupid not to put yourself first at some point.
See, every time I've thought about the ability to stop time, I'm always thinking to myself, like, what are you going to be doing? What do you wish you were doing at this current time? Like, you're always, like, if you're on a bus, you're going somewhere, you wish the bus is going faster, for example. You wish you were already there. Like, if you're too hot, you wish you weren't too hot. Stuff like that. Everyone has a point in their life where they're somewhere and they wish they had more money. And with the ability to stop time, you just have that instantly. Like, you're just like, oh, I wish I had more money. Stop time, walk into the nearest shop and take money out of the till. Like, you don't even need to actually go hard or go home type situation.
I've always figured with this stop time thing, by the time you think, right, stop time, I would have thought the bad thing has already happened that you want to stop it for.
How do you mean?
So, right, I don't know, like, if you're getting run over by a car or something, you don't see it coming, you can't stop time and make it stop because you don't see it coming.
Yeah.
But then you can say that, I suppose you can say that about any superpower, like, just because you're invisible, you can't put the invisibility on if you've already just been hit by a car.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, like, when it comes to stuff like that, I never think about that type of... Like, I don't actually think of using it as a superpower at all. I just think of using it as a way of enhancing my life quality a little bit. Like, just being like, oh, I wish I had more money, and now I do.
You can have more money, yeah. You can just have anything you want, because you just go and take it.
Yeah. It's pretty much the ultimate thing people use it for, is for more money. Like,
yeah,
if you had that.
That's what everyone... Yeah.
I don't know. That's just the one that I've always thought about, because I guess that's the thing I always wish I had, was more money, because just any situation, like, things cost money. Like, I don't know, I do a lot of window shopping online, screen shopping, and just, like, looking at Amazon and thinking, oh, I wish I had that. And if you just had that ability to just go and collect money from... Like, you could even do it in a really morally pure way if you wanted, in the sense that, like, you don't want to rip off shops and take money that they've earned or whatever. So you could just go to, like, 10 different shops and take a €10 note, and then you have 100 quid. And that's just, like, it's too easy. Like, I don't know. I mean...
It's weird that neither of you decided to, like, pop on a pair of pants and go save the day, you know?
Well,
like, you went straight to rob...
What? Whose day are you really going to save with the ability to stop time?
I don't know, a cat in a tree.
A cat in a tree.
How is stopping time? You can do that with time going.
Yeah. I've always thought that the kind of using it for good is sort of
lame.
It's given, like, you are going to do that.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Yeah, everybody is actually like that as well, especially when the time comes for somebody to act in a certain way. Like, they did some study in... I think it was in Paris, or I forget what it's called. I've talked about it on my channel before, but, like, they found that people, if, like, one guy is in the street by himself and he sees somebody getting mugged, he's far more likely to jump in and save that person than he is when he's in a group of people. Like, people just have that capacity, whether or not they know it. And I think if you have the ability to do that, that's more enhanced than everyone else's ability. You're just gonna do it because you are the guy, and you sort of just, like my uncle said before he died after being shot by a mugger, like, just the thing that he said to me before he died was that with great power comes great responsibility. And it's sort of similar in this sense, because you have this great power that you're harnessing from the ability to stop time. And like, I think my Uncle Ben had it right, really.
Yeah, Uncle Ben,
Yeah.
What a good guy. I loved your Uncle Ben.
He was a nice guy, wasn't he?
He was a nice guy.
Did a good job raising me.
He did.
Yeah.
Not really. Oh, yeah.
Preparing it to flight.
Yeah, with like invisibility, you can do it away from people, so they're not going to see you doing it, turning invisible. But with flying, you're going to be spotted. And with stopping time, like you won't be spotted.
I think stopping time is as good as invisibility, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much, because you can do whatever you want to do. In the same way with invisibility, you can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
But stopping time, I don't know, invisibility is like you can do stuff to people when they're moving, like kick them or something.
I think there's a reason no one's ever made a good movie out of things like Superman. No one's ever made a good movie about invisible people or the ability to stop time. Is because it's just too easy for, like, it's so easy that it's boring, you know, because of the reasons that you just listed. Like, it's just too easy to escape or whatever.
Yeah.
What do you think the worst superpower is? Like, for that reason, I actually think the worst superpower is, like, flying, for example. Like, the fact that Superman can fly. Like, the reason that he gets to do that sort of gives him this tremendous agility and strength, because that's what is required to be able to fly, presumably. And it's just boring because he just pushes things out of the way or whatever. Like, I don't know, it's kind of stupid. Like, I never, like, does the idea of a Superman movie even appeal to anybody at all?
No.
Yes, I love Superman.
Really?
Yeah, I genuinely do like Superman. Yeah. I don't really know why. I think it's just a big. I think because he's an alien, and I like aliens, and I think that's more than the fact that he's a superhero, is because he's an alien, and that's more appealing than other stuff.
Do you think it's weird that he's an alien who looks exactly like a human?
Well, that part's weird. Yeah.
It's weird that Lois Lane just gets off from fucking aliens. The hell?
Yeah.
The hell is her deal?
It's weird there's not a scene in it where he's like, oh, by the way, my junk isn't, like, normal. I mean, I may have the face of a human, but he's got, like, a weird dick, and she's like, oh, that's weird. And then they're not together anymore. And end of the movie, credits.
That would be really good.
Yeah.
I'd really enjoy that. I was thinking about, like, what a superpower in real life would be, and every time I try and think about it, I think that they kind of already exist. And, like, what I thought about was the movie Limitless. Have you seen the movie Limitless?
With Bradley Cooper?
Yeah.
I think I've seen a bit of it. I don't think I've seen it all through. But I generally know the gist of the story.
Have you seen it, Jack?
No.
Really? It seems like the type of movie you would have seen.
Is it terrible?
Do you know, it actually is terrible, but it's a good popcorn movie. Like, if you just suspend your snobbery a little bit and watch it, like,
I don't like popcorn.
Oh my god.
You've ruined the whole podcast.
See, yeah, it's like that movie. What's the Scarlett Johansson movie that she becomes, like, really powerful in it, and it's like The Matrix? Lost in Translation, is that it?
Yes, it's
doesn't
Lost in
sound like
Translation with Bill Murray. Yeah.
Or is it Lucy? Is that the one?
Lucy is the movie. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the same
shit
premise as
talk,
that.
movie.
It uses that incorrect theory that that you only use 9/10 of your brain, you only use like 10% of your brain, and this gives you the ability to use 100%, whatever it is. I don't know what it is in Lucy.
I think I remember you mentioning this actually.
In Limitless,
it sounds fucking terrible.
It's a pill that he takes, and it just gives him the ability to use, basically, like, I think, like, it's a metaphor for all of the people who, like we discussed in the school episode, is like to use the most of your potential in every possible aspect. Like, all of us can be, like, great writers or great actors or whatever. Like, it's in every human just has that sort of ability. It's just about how you harness it, and, like, it's nature versus nurture and all of those
with
things.
saying that being a great writer is being very good creatively. Is that in everyone?
I think so. I mean, I don't know. Maybe not. But
I think it's to do with, like, the make of you as a person, isn't it? Like, you have a certain amount of traits in you, and then it's the nature versus nurture. Then you, through the nurture and your upbringing, you develop more skills than others.
I think a lot of it too is just how you work certain things, because I don't think that the main writers of the biggest, like, blockbuster movies that came from best-selling books, I don't think they're good writers. I don't think Stephanie Meyer or E.L. James or any of those people are good writers. Like, I don't think that 50 Shades of Grey or Twilight is ever going to be considered great literature, but like it sold a fucking great amount, and I think it's just that like everyone has that ability.
Yeah.
If someone who started out writing Twilight fan fiction can make a movie that grosses as highly as 50 Shades of fucking Grey does, then like anyone can do that realistically. Like that is true, anyone can do that. But when Bradley Cooper takes this pill, like you're watching the movie and he starts thinking so productively, and everything he does is methodical, and he masters the stock market and stuff. And it just made me think about how you ever watch a documentary about someone who's autistic and they have this incredible ability to decipher like what certain codes mean and
Yeah.
things like that. I think everyone has, like, I don't know, some people just have that really enhanced ability to look at numbers and immediately be able to just work it in their brain to find out what it does. And like a lot of people make a lot of money through gambling and on the stock exchange that way. And that's
I think I think people take on information better than other people.
Yeah.
It's like you're going to get people that are smarter than others just because their retention of it is better and their application of it is better, and that's just the way it is.
Their like adaptability to that chosen thing is like sort of instantaneous. And I don't know, there's just a lot of things like that make me wonder about what is the greatest superpower, like, and I use superpower quote unquote, that a person could have in reality. Because I think like it's probably different with every person, but I think like if I had like really like high levels of motivation for anything, I think I could really excel at it, but I'm just not that bothered. And I wonder like why that kind of thing happens and stuff.
So with like you would consider like a superpower, like you put like a ridiculous equation in someone's head and they just work it out in their head.
Yeah.
And they can just write it down like that.
Usain Bolt, you mean?
Yeah,
like why can he run faster than anybody on the planet?
Why are Kenyans faster than everybody else? Like
running away from lions.
That's the reason actually.
yeah.
From birth in Kenya, everyone must escape a lion.
Yeah.
It's the only reason that they have a society over there. It's crazy. But like why does that happen? Like, I don't know, just things like that really interest me, and how certain things can be perceived as a superpower and certain things can't. Like, because even in sports, like say, compare a player like Cristiano Ronaldo to a player like Joe Cole. Like, Joe Cole's had a fairly good career, bit of a laughable kind of idea now, but like he's played at a high level for the vast majority of his career. And from a young age, he was one of the most skillful players, like, in all of England. Like, I've seen him do ridiculous things with a football, and he quite clearly had the ability to succeed at a really high level, hence his transfers to, like, Chelsea and Liverpool and stuff. And, like, if he were to play against either of us, or any of us at football, we would think that he is actually superhuman.
Yeah.
But when he plays next to Ronaldo, Ronaldo is superhuman to him. And that's really weird, because they both... I'm not saying Joe Cole is on par with Ronaldo in terms of raw ability or whatever, but just... You'd think that if Joe Cole got the right amount of coaching and the right amount of dedication to the sport itself, like that he could be playing at a super high level.
But I think that's all sort of certain traits. Like, the reason Ronaldo... I think every footballer gets to a point where they're essentially the same. Like, they can all... control is all the same. They can, like... do all that stuff, that's fine. That's how you make it to be professional. But then the other stuff, you need to be determined, you need to be all those other things to make you like really, really good. And then on top of that, you have to be good at in the crunch moments, which is like you'd think every footballer should be able to do that, but some just can't, can they?
I think even if you things like football, there has to be a natural ability there.
But is that not in every person? Is not every person?
No,
is
I don't
born...
think it is.
I think you need like to have some sort of natural coordination. You need to be well coordinated, and you need balance, and like certain things. Some people just don't have as good a balance as other people. Like, you can learn it or whatever, but it takes a lot of time to retrain your instincts in that sense. I don't know. Like, I find, like, I'd say on a training field or whatever, Like if you watch, who does Joe Cole play for now? Is he still playing?
Villa.
He plays for Villa.
So yeah.
I bet in training, like he's absolutely unfucking believable every single time. I bet he scores like 25 goals a game in training, but then he just can't produce it on a pitch anymore. Like not consistently, anyways. And I want to know why. Like what's happened there? Because he obviously has an incredible gift with football. Why did I pick Joe Cole?
Why
I don't know,
Joe Cole?
it's a
Because
good-
Joe Cole's fucking terrible.
No, I think it's his initials are JC. Jesus Christ. So
Ooh.
no, I don't know.
The original Superman.
Yes, as we
Yeah.
all know.
Fucking hell.
He could fly, right?
Yeah, I think the guy who wrote Limitless started out being like, oh man, I wish I could achieve my potential with everything. Imagine what that would be like. Oh, it would be like this. And then he wrote that whole thing about the brain being, you know, that you only use like 30% of your brain or 10% of your brain or whatever the myth is. But I think if there's a lot of things as well that we don't really fully understand, like aspirin. Apparently, like taking aspirin every day heightens your abilities in certain things and lessens your chances of dying and makes you more healthy or whatever. And there's another thing
isn't that an artificial? That's an artificial thing. Like it makes you more aware of something.
yeah.
Like, makes your reactions quicker and stuff like that. So you're more awake. So
But
your body.
similarly, like some people just can't function without caffeine. And like the military have been studying caffeine for years. Like
They can function without it. They get addicted to it.
yeah, but it makes them so much better, you know.
And you need to wean them off it, and then it'll take years then to get back to normal where they don't need it.
Yeah, I can't. If I give up caffeine for like 3 days, I get a headache. I get caffeine withdrawal headaches.
But what do you have that's got caffeine in it?
Coke.
Oh yeah.
But like I've always wanted to move to coffee because it's like an adult drink and it also has about 5 times as much caffeine as Coke does.
Because it's an adult drink.
It is.
an
I
adult
just
drink.
can't drink hot
I'm not
drinks
denying
though.
this. You're not
Yeah,
denying-
I don't drink hot drinks.
Yeah, they're fucking. I
I
don't like
drink
them.
tea at work, but that's it.
You drink tea? I can't drink tea.
At work, I don't drink at home, just at work. But that's almost like a pass the time kind of thing.
Drinking
Do it
tea
to-
to
do it
pass
to
the
pass
time.
the time.
Yeah, that's so English.
That's just what we do.
Should we go through this top 100 coolest superpowers on IGN? Not all 100, obviously, but just go through them and.
Other websites are available.
Yeah.
Go to like the top 20, something like that.
Yeah, so it says here judging criteria: gadgets and tech, like Batman's utility belt and Iron Man's armor, aren't special abilities. That's another thing. You know the way they say Batman has no superpowers, but like he does quite clearly. I mean,
In the comics, he's the greatest detective that ever lived.
yeah, he's Sherlock Holmes, except
Yeah.
he's also Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
in terms of if you knew Batman in real life, he is the Cristiano Ronaldo of vigilantism and like
Yeah.
heroism and so many other things. So when you say he has no superpowers, like you're really fucking selling him short, and it's kind of unfair. Like I just think that even his ability to just avoid death so frequently and so dramatically and so cleverly makes him a superhero in itself, you know.
Yeah.
The next piece of judging criteria is being really, really good at something, like the Green Arrow at archery isn't enough. It has to surpass normal human capabilities.
That's what I'd consider a superpower. Something that isn't possible.
But then, right, Usain Bolt, for example, like Loosemore mentioned, has the greatest like record in whatever it is sprinting of all time. He has
100
surpassed
meter
normal
sprinting,
human
yeah.
capabilities. It
He
is.
hasn't.
He
has
has.
surpassed normal because no one until him
Yeah.
had ran the time that he's ran.
Yeah,
he's
so
the
how-
fastest man that ever lived.
But that's human evolution.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
Well, yeah,
on
but
a very small scale, and it's the way that the world is now. He's probably grown up his whole life training for this moment, and training is much better than it used to be. It's the way footballers. I think the standard of football is higher than it used to be, and stuff like that. It's just the way the world is. People
The
are
problem
trained
is, why is it only Ronaldo and Messi now that are breaking all these records? If standard of football was so
because
much
they
greater,
are because they are like, I think Ronaldo and Messi is just a different kind of thing because they're just once in a generation
Superhuman?
players. Not once in a generation because there's two of them. No,
Can you
there's
say
two.
superhumans again, please?
Yeah, please say
Superhuman.
human. Then it's Pele. Pele was once a once in a lifetime player. But I think there's more. I think I'm right there. I think it's just. I think it's just training's
I think
become
there's a
better.
middle ground to be had. I think your definition, or at least your perception of superpowers, is so tainted by how incredibly super everything in comics is in comparison to Earth. But I think what Usain Bolt has done, like in terms of what we've seen, real life things happening, like it is super. It's absolutely surpassing normal human capabilities. And that's just a great advert for the cocaine industry, because that's what drugs will do for you.
But what happens when someone else comes along? Is he no longer superhuman?
No, he still is, just to a lesser degree, I'd say.
I don't know. I think that's wrong.
The next piece of judging criteria says, it's the result, not the means, that define the power. So surely that in itself, that sentence proves that Usain Bolt is super. Super.
Yeah.
And then it says, so
Super.
while magic is awesome, it's not a power by our guidelines. Magic lets you do cool things like conjure, fly, and fly. Oh, sorry. Conjure fire and fly, so your fight or flight's in... No, that's not right. Conjure fire, as in make it appear in your hand and control it, and fly. So fire manipulation and flight are the powers, not the magic itself. Sorry, Harry Potter. This seems very fucking geeky and technical already. The context of where a power is used matters. Superman on Krypton isn't superpowered, but on Earth he is because of the yellow sun. This is a list of the coolest powers, which doesn't necessarily translate to the most powerful power. Oh, for fuck's sake, start with 100. Jesus, IGN, you nearly bored me out of reading your article. I just go into the top 20 immediately.
yeah.
Number 20 is X-ray vision, the ability to see through anything except lead. I don't think that this would even help you in real life at all, because you're just going to be looking at life, except instead of people you see skeletons. Like, how is this going to even assist you?
I think having that...
I never understand in movies why that when they see the X-ray vision, they use it to like spot whether a guy has got a gun or something.
Because it's the thing about it being an X-ray vision, like it says here, even on this list it says whether it's to pull the plug on shady business deals or satisfy teenage curiosity. Like, have you never seen an X-ray of a person? There's no way to sexualize it at all. You're looking at a skeleton.
Yeah.
You're not looking through clothes, like.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so annoying the way they think that. Like, if you have skeleton vision, X-ray vision, sorry, not skeleton vision, it's just boring. Like, it's... Yeah, you get to see if someone's carrying a gun. Wow. Amazing.
I think the situations and that would actually be helpful are so contrived and so rare that becomes pointless.
The situation where that would actually be helpful is already endorsed by airport security systems.
Yeah.
Where you'd actually need it. Number 19 is a good one. It says controlling weather, which we can actually do, I think. I know in Russia that you can control weather. It's actually possible to do. Not all the time in any way that you want, but like it is still possible to do by releasing chemicals into the air. It's not possible to cure droughts and famine in that way, I don't think, but it's possible to control the weather, right?
Well, climate change is a thing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the human race itself has been systematically controlling the weather for the last 115 years. Having said that, though, Ted Cruz did have a snowball the other day, so there's no way that climate change is real.
That's true. Yeah. He knows what he's talking about.
Number 18, atomic manipulation, the ability to reconstruct atomic makeup. Jack?
I don't even know what that means.
That's a cool one. Like, have you seen The Watchmen?
Yeah, I really like Watchmen as well.
Yeah, me too.
There's a lot of like really good quotes and stuff in it, but I wouldn't watch it again, I don't think.
But yeah, Dr. Manhattan is a pretty cool guy.
Yeah.
But let's skip that.
The next one is healing factor. The ability to heal your wounds really quick. Do you know what's a fucking good superpower? Is that just kind of like not quite immortality, but really quick healing? Because Wolverine has it.
Yeah.
But more importantly, Brandon Lee doesn't have it, but the Crow that he played does have it. I don't know why I said
Yeah.
Brandon Lee. Brandon Lee is dead. If he had it, it
he
would be a better
definitely
role.
didn't have it. Yeah.
But the Crow had it, and that was an awesome movie that I might actually watch tonight because I haven't seen it in a while.
A lot of superheroes have that, don't they?
See, that's
Like
another
Spider-Man
thing
has that sort of.
a
you
lot
know.
of like players, football players, like people in real life have the ability to heal like really quickly. You know, like it's
Yeah.
not often that Ronaldo or Messi are out with an injury.
That's true. Yeah,
Um,
and they often talk about players coming back from injuries, like defying medical, science or whatever, and coming
Yeah.
back 6 weeks before, or whatever. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It's possible to find these things. Number 16 is magnetic manipulation. So no.
Like they make out to be like really cool in the X-Men movies, but really, I mean, if you had the power to like move stuff, magnetic power, I mean, it's not that cool, is it?
No. And it wouldn't be practical either. Like, what are you going to do? Like, apply that while you're on a plane and make the wings bend towards you because you're showing off your cool power? Fuck off. Number 15 is mind control. Being able to take charge of another person's thoughts. This, right, I guarantee you that if someone... I can't guarantee it because, it'll never be proved. Which is why I can guarantee it. Prove me wrong, kids. You can't, like... People's thoughts don't run in a way that they do on TV, where like if someone is reading someone's mind on TV, that person's mind goes like, oh, I wonder what's happening to my life, oh, why am I so, like, you don't think in sentences when you think, not all the time, like,
It's, but yeah, if you thinking like it's quite weird. It's like, you ever seen one of them things where it's like a cloud, but like this picture it's cloud of words, like a word cloud.
yeah.
That's the kind of way you think. Like,
Yeah, it is.
The big thing comes to your head, and
But it's like with that, but also with images and moving images.
Yeah.
And it's all just flying around in your head, and you connect it, but you never outright say to yourself.
it's not a sentence. It's a sort of a short sequence of pictures that defines that sentence. That sentence implies.
So, like, having said that, I think one really good superpower that people do in real life, like something that is an extraordinary talent and an extraordinary ability to have, is the ability to read people. And just, like, Darren Brown does it, and I know, like, a lot of what he does is smoke and mirrors because he's an illusionist to some degree. But his live shows where he gets people on stage and reads their thoughts and what they're thinking. Like, a lot of it is previously sort of subliminally implanted stuff that he knows. But he does get people on stage. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but he'll have someone on stage and he'll just go, oh, sorry, it's not going to work on you. You need to sit down.
Yeah, because some people are more susceptible to it than others, aren't they?
Exactly, yeah. And he's able to tell who is susceptible and who isn't. And I think just that ability in itself is extraordinary. Like, he quite clearly has a very good read on people. And I like that a lot. Like, I think I'm really good at judging people.
Well, it goes back to the detective thing, doesn't it? If you're a really good detective, you can read people in a interview scenario. Like, you can read what they're thinking, or when they say stuff, what they really mean, that sort of thing. That's kind of mind control, isn't it? In a way. In
a way, like, yeah, it's the closest thing we'll get to it, because you're actually reading people's body language, right?
Mannerism. Yeah.
Yeah, like, rather than a bunch of thoughts flying through their head, which would be so impractical. Like, I actually think the human way of doing that is much, much better. I think in the movie Inception, Tom Hardy's character, what's he called in it? The Forger or something.
Something like that, yeah.
The way he goes about doing that is essentially a superpower. He's just, oh yeah, I've mimicked this guy, I got him perfectly, I got a read on him, like, and all that.
Yeah.
That's something that you could theoretically do in real life. Like, you see sometimes method actors, or just actors who are playing somebody who's a real person, and the way that they're so like them that it's creepy. That's a real fucking talent to be able to, because it obviously just shows this intuitive ability to read people and understand people and stuff. I really like that. Number 14 is time travel, so yeah, that's not a thing that we can really do as humans. But is there a lot to be said about time travel being a realistic thing that people could ever do?
I find this hard to believe, time travel, but obviously.
If time travel is real, why haven't we had any visitors?
If time
I
travel...
think it's
I
more
can't remember
than
where I heard
speed,
it.
you know.
What'd you say, Loosemore? You broke up like a robot there.
You died
Sorry, I
halfway
don't think
through a
it's more
sentence.
to do with speed though. Time travel, like you could, you know, somehow enhance speed rather than like have the power to actually travel back in time just randomly. You know, I think because they talked about how if you go a certain speed, you can like for like a minute amount of time, like travel back in time. That's as close as we'll get probably ever.
If you,
You know?
when you look into space, supposedly you're looking into the past because all those stars have already died or something like that.
That is true.
That's pretty much
because
it.
light isn't instant.
Exactly, yeah.
So
So
sight
you're,
isn't instant.
yeah.
I can't remember where I heard it, but someone said if time travel is possible, then it's already happened in the future, and someone would have come back by now. But it also, you could counter that by saying, but time travel will only be possible to the point where time travel
Yeah, I've
is
heard that
invented,
too.
Yeah.
like to the day where it was invented.
But there's a really cool thing about how, you know how in The Simpsons, like when Homer goes back and he sits on a insect or something in the past and it changes the entire course of humanity, and then he comes into the kitchen and like it's raining donuts outside and it's a whole different world, not the one that he's used to, so he runs back to use his toaster time travel machine again. And supposedly if that were to really happen, if you went back in time and you did something that disrupted the space-time continuum and humanity changed in accordance to that, by the time you get back to the future, like, it's just going to be the same because you have grown up in that world. So you aren't... Does that make any sense? There's a Stan Lee comic strip, I think, where two scientists are looking into a time machine and they're about to go back in time. So they go back in time and they disrupt it in some way. I don't know, like they kick over a tree or something. And then they go back to the present day where they just were, and they're giant lizards. And one says to the other, "See, I told you nothing would happen," because they've grown up in that world since they've altered time. And I find
they only know themselves as giant lizards.
Yeah. So like if it has happened and someone's gone back and altered the course of history,
they wouldn't know.
Yeah, we don't know. That's cool though, right? Like,
that is very cool.
Yeah. Okay, just wanted to get that across.
That should be number 1. Why is that not number 1?
Yeah.
Why is that number 14 or whatever? Yeah.
Number 13 is immortality. I don't know. Would you guys want immortality?
I don't know, but immortality is kind of not. Is it a superpower? Because like they've talked about vampires and shit having immortality for years, haven't they? Like hundreds of years.
Immortality, could you not age at all? Do you reach a point where you're at an age and then that you level out there?
Or is I'd assume so, because nobody wants to be that guy who's like still fully functional in a lot of ways but looks like a cooked chicken.
Yeah. Well, Wolverine is what he's like. He's immortal, isn't he? But he obviously grew up to a point where he's like 40 or whatever, and now he's just stopped.
Is he really immortal?
Well, if you've seen the Wolverine, the X-Men Origins movie, he's fought in all the major wars, like the American Civil War, the First World War, and even wars before that, I think. So yeah, he's pretty immortal. Yeah.
Are you sure you didn't just watch all of Hugh Jackman's movies and think that he was playing?
Yeah, I could have just put them all together and made one giant Hugh Jackman movie there. Yeah. Did I?
That might be what happened.
Yeah.
Number 12 is the power cosmic, which says godlike cosmic energy. I don't think I know enough about science to...
That's...
It says here, you have any selection of powers under your belt. Teleportation, flight, super strength, all of that mundane stuff is possible with power cosmic. But that's bullshit, though. It's such a cop-out of a superpower. Like, I don't know, it's stupid.
That's like saying God, though, isn't it? Like, you can do anything. Yeah. Nah, that's not. Nah, that's not a thing.
The next one is teleportation.
That's cool.
What?
Teleportation is pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a weird, like, philosophical conundrum about teleportation, which is the fact that when you teleport, much like, say, a fax, sending a fax to a fax machine, is that it sends the information from one machine to the other and then projects a replica of it, while the original document stays where it was. And they say that with teleportation, that's what it would be like, because it would be the transfer of matter. But it's not exactly transfer, because it's not transferable. So from one teleportation object to the next, it's just like you you dematerialize, and then all of that matter becomes replaced in the other thing, and then you come out from the other area, but you're never the same person as you were before.
I often think about like the stuff like sending a text message. That goes somewhere, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But surely we can harness the similar sort of thing and do teleportation. But that obviously won't be for like thousands of years. But that sort of scenario where you can send something somewhere else.
But like the same way with email or whatever, like the original stays where it was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So like it's reproducing the exact same material content somewhere else, which is fucked up. Because
Would you want that? I don't know.
No, I don't think you would.
No.
Because then you have to ask yourself this entire sort of existential question of what actually are you in the first place, and what makes you you, and are you still going to be you when you're at the next place?
Yeah.
I'd like to.
And
know
what
Jack
is the
thinks.
original? Which one is you?
Yeah.
The one that stays in the original place, or the one that's teleported?
That's the thing that you would never really fully understand. It's kind of like immortality in the way that we were talking about on the episode that never made it, was that if you upload your brain to a hard drive somewhere, and then you die, but you live on as the hard drive that makes, through using algorithms and stuff, it projects a presentation or representation of you somewhere. Is that you?
This would make a really good Christopher Nolan movie.
Oh man, I really wish he would get on that.
Yeah.
I was reading I was on the Interstellar IMDb page the other day.
Yeah.
Just because the people who really hate Christopher Nolan,
Are just bitter nerds.
pretty much.
Yeah.
I am a proper movie nerd and all, and I accept that his movies are not they're not like Stanley Kubrick or whatever, but they're very fucking good. He makes popcorn movies for people who like to think about their movies that they watch, and I think that in itself is an incredible skill that nobody does as well as he does, apart from maybe like David Fincher or something. But I think Nolan in the next few, he's still really young or whatever. But one of the forum posts about Interstellar just said, Christopher Nolan has a corn fetish. Every night when he goes to bed, he dreams about cutting various pieces of corn and putting them all over his body.
Sounds like one of the delusional effects.
Yeah. It was so fucking weird.
Really small fact.
Yeah, I don't know. Number 10 on this is shape-shifting.
I don't know. It's almost similar to
Invisibility.
invisibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're hiding as someone else, aren't you?
The fuck is that noise? Sorry,
So annoyed.
some trailer keeps playing on this website, and it's really annoying because I've muted Firefox and everything, but it keeps on playing. But yeah, shapeshifting again, I don't think is actually possible because it relates to the transfer of matter, and you would have to shapeshift into something that has the exact same chemicals as you do, like the exact same materials and levels and everything. Number 9 is telekinesis, which is the ability to move objects or people with your mind. That's fucking badass, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Hasn't that been done on some sort of level though?
No. Yeah, it has.
What?
Yeah, on Joe Rogan Question Everything, he did an episode about, I've said this before loads of times on my channel, but he did an episode about technological singularity, and there was one where he flew a helicopter, like a remote control helicopter that was about the size of his hand, and he flew it with his mind.
Yeah.
They put a sort of a perceptive headgear on him that somehow hooks up to his senses, and it reads his brainwaves, and he tells it to fly, and it flies.
That's completely different to...
Yeah, but
That's
But
almost
it's
as similar.
what this is, isn't it?
But
Yeah,
that's
The
just-
very
that's-
early stages.
exactly.
Of something that's not going to be possible.
Well, it is. It's just not. You know, like not everything is gonna be like it is in superhero movies. Like
Mhm.
I don't know. Like I'm more interested in the. Like a movie version of everything is different to everything. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
nobody rings somebody up on their phone and says turn to channel 7, and then as they turn on the channel, the thing that they wanted them to watch is just starting where they are.
Yeah.
Yet
Yeah.
somehow they're like, you know, like that's a movie conversation on the phone, whereas an actual conversation is different. The same way that's movie telekinesis, and what we have is the real thing that's possible. You know,
Yeah.
like it's a trope that it's a superpower in that sense, but it's in real life. Yeah, like we actually have made steps towards making that possible, which is incredibly impressive. I think. Number
But
8 is.
I kind of figure that in the same. That's the same on the same level as playing a game where you control something. But I think I'm thinking that it's because it's just you're taking you're shortcutting the actual holding something and doing something with your hand to control it, rather than just the brain waves that are telling that it should be done. I don't know if that makes any sense.
I don't really see where. I kind of yeah.
I kind of know where you're coming from, but
It just seems like a
Yeah.
shortcut between putting your hand on something and controlling it.
Yeah, no, I do get you now. Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
guess.
that's not like mind control, that is it? Because you could say that playing a game is mind control because your mind is telling your hands to do something and you're doing it with your hands.
Quick side note. Where do you see? You know how like the Oculus Rift and the Morpheus and all that stuff is coming in.
It won't take off.
No, but let's say like I don't know, 50 years down the line when you've got those things at the height of their power in combination with the ability to do things with your mind like that, like. Do you not think that would make for us like some fucking sick virtual reality gaming? Like,
Yeah,
Oh
but
yeah.
I've always
Gaming as it is now is only going to get better and better and better, and more realistic, and
but I
all that
always
kind of-
consider the gaming part is it's your hands, isn't it?
for me, yeah, because
Controlling something, and that's what we're used to. So it's going to take such a. I mean, it might be a new generation where the gaming is in their mind, isn't it? It's in the Oculus Rift or whatever.
it
Yeah.
will eventually. But like, I can't get into those games that are like the Wii where you play tennis or whatever. Like, I've said before on this podcast actually that I'd really love it if they'd make a gangster game where you hold a baseball bat and swing it really hard, or like a hatchet and
Yeah.
cut zombies' heads off. Like, that's the type of thing that I want to see. But
Don't
I
get me
think-
wrong. When you go into a GTA and I'd take someone's head off with a hatchet on first person, that is pretty satisfying.
Oh yeah, it's immensely satisfying. I love,
Don't you think
like,
there's something weird about playing like Wii tennis when you could actually just be playing real tennis?
Yeah, it's different with that sort of thing because you can't say why are you playing Call of Duty when you could just go outside with a gun and shoot someone.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's not
find
too
it
different.
funny when like older, more conservative types are kind of fearful about their kids consuming video games while they spend like I don't know how many hours a week on Farmville and Candy Crush and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that hypocrisy, like when people just don't have a clue what they're talking about in that
Yeah.
way. Like, I find it really strange how GTA is somehow the ultimate villain of the world when like there are so many other things that are just as harmful or whatever, like have just as many negative things attributed to it. Kind of like Coke and McDonald's. People always say Coke is terrible. Like when I was younger, in my school they did not let us drink fizzy drinks. You weren't allowed Coke because, as you well know, when kids drink Coke they get super hyper because sugar and stuff. So
I was
like,
banned. I was allowed Coke and then I got banned from it.
you got banned from it. So there you go,
Yeah.
right? I was given, to substitute for Coke, I was given either a Capri Sun or Sunny D, and both of those just
Contain more sugar, I bet.
far, like 2.5 times as much.
Yeah.
And it's so stupid. Let's do a podcast about, how would you title that to put it into one sort of thematic thing?
Stupid rules.
Sugar.
Sugar, yeah, great. That's
Yeah.
Episode 39 will be about I don't know, things your parents were wrong about or something like that.
Hypocritical nonsense.
Hypocritical nonsense. I love it. Number 8 on this stupid fucking list is invulnerability, which means sustain no harm. Like, fuck off. You've already given us immortality and super fast healing. We don't need this one. Number 7 is hard light constructs, which the power. This means create virtually any weapon, tool, or vehicle out of hard light. Fuck off now. You're just being stupid with this list.
That's very far-fetched and very
stupid.
Yeah.
Having said that, a 3D printer is pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
You gotta.
Where do you think that's going to go though in the future? Like, if we can print anything now with a 3D printer, that's going to be insane in about 50 years' time, isn't it?
I hope someone uses it to create a fully functional 2D printer.
I can't wait for the advert at the beginning of a film going, you can't print a car.
Yeah, that is another interesting thing. Like, how many things are... I don't know. Someone made a gun out of 3D printer stuff, and... I don't know. Like, someone's gonna die because of something that was made out of a 3D printer.
The first death from a 3D printer. Yeah.
And the world is gonna go, oh, we need to get rid of 3D printers, and completely not have a clue about the context, even though normal guns kill people all the time.
All the time, yeah.
Can we, maybe, like, come up with a superpower that hasn't been done on TV? Like, I think a really cool one would be the ability to just exist in any game world for a while. Like, the other day...
I like the idea of going between maybe, like, multiple dimensions.
I was thinking that earlier, yeah. Like,
that's a good one, Jack. Yeah.
Like string theory and actually, like...
Yeah, I mean, the theory of multiple dimensions is complete bollocks. But...
Wait, when you say dimensions... Like... Do you mean universes?
No, dimensions is like... It's the exact same, but there's like... a very slightly different in each multiple dimension, because there's an infinite number, isn't there?
No, you're thinking of the multiverse, the string theory.
Yeah.
It's different universes. Dimensions is like... We can't comprehend a fourth dimension at all, because we exist in the third dimension.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're talking about the multiverse. Like, as in, there's infinite
parallel
number
universe.
of verses. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably what I'm thinking of.
So, like, every possible outcome has been fulfilled.
Has existed or will exist.
Yeah, in some universe. Which is a really cool way of, if you believe in that, and you watch action movies and you say, oh, well, how did that happen and how did that happen? It's the universe where it all happened. There is a universe where John McClane died multiple times while trying to save the day in Die Hard. But in this one...
In that universe, it's the movie they made, yeah.
Yeah. Fuck off. Fast and Furious 7 was amazing.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that movie, but... yeah, I think the ability to go in and out of a video game or a movie or something would be really cool. Like, to just project yourself into that universe. Like... I wanted to, the other day
maybe like, you look at say you're playing a game, or you're looking at a TV show, and from there you just sort of, you could just put yourself in it while you're watching it kind of thing.
Or just to, like, walk around in it. Like The Walking Dead. It'd be pretty cool to walk around in that.
So project yourself into anything you see, you mean?
Yeah. Like...
That, yeah, that would be pretty...
It's like, it's something that is in a lot of stupid, like, Goosebumps and, like, stupid TV shows like that. It's a thing that people do.
Yeah.
They get sort of carted into the TV. And the video for Alien Ant Farm's movies. Which,
yeah.
If anybody listening knows that song, I feel bad for you, but...
Wasn't there a kids' TV program years ago where, like, somebody would draw something and then they could, like, whatever they drew, they could go into?
Yeah, that does sound familiar too.
I just can't remember what it was called.
No, me neither.
But that's a similar sort of thing.
Yeah, but that would be pretty... Like, imagine just getting into a Zentorno and driving up to Blaine County on that highway where you can speed and not even get the cops after you for speeding.
Yeah.
That would be fucking sick. Like, we should
having some jet fun.
Yeah, jet fun. Just getting into jets and flying them around. Like, that would be amazing. I don't know. Do you have a superpower that you would like, Loosmore?
What? Off the top of my head?
Yeah. Like one that you don't really see a lot.
Just to be better at life, you know.
Calm down with the ambition there, buddy.
No, I don't know. I don't really know. Like most of the superpower stuff has been done, hasn't it? Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's kind of bullshit when, like, of all the, you know, movies tread over the same ground with superheroes and superpowers, don't they? Really, you know.
A lot of TV show characters have superpowers. You just don't know it because it's written well enough that you don't consider it. But you know the way we say like Batman is the greatest detective and that's a superpower. Like if anyone watches Suits, Mike Ross's memory, like that's not a thing that can happen in real life.
No.
Like, he just remembers every single thing that he's ever learned in his
Yeah.
entire life.
Yeah.
That's almost bordering on like kids with autism, isn't it?
Yeah, except that he would actually go so insane if his brain were actually like that. Like if you even imagine any room, like a room that you were in today, you can't actually picture everything in it. You don't picture everything in it. Your brain just doesn't project a still image that's accurate into your brain like that. Like that's not how your memory works. You're
Otherwise,
remembering...
we'd all be really good at the generation game.
Exactly.
Except
yeah.
we're not. And we all struggle to name the cuddly toy or whatever.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
you can't even like an album cover that you think you've got down, like there's things in it that you don't know. Like
Yeah.
even the smallest images, there are things that you don't pick up on because your brain scans every image for the important things and takes those away with it. So like it's the same thing that you do when you're reading, and that's been proven as well by, I'm sure you guys have all read the things on Facebook where they leave out a certain word and you don't actually notice that they've left it out, or they mix words up.
Yeah.
You don't notice that it's been changed around, and that, like, because your brain fixes everything itself so that you can ingest as much information as possible, like as much important information as possible as quickly as possible. So the idea that you would have just everything is so stupid, and it's just like not possible. Like that show is actually a supernatural fantasy type show for that reason. It's science fiction. Like it's impossible. That's a superpower. That show is a Superman show. You just didn't notice. Same like Sherlock Holmes is the same, or like Doctor House, where all of his cases are all of his.
But there's been a lot of shows lately, like obviously Elementary is Sherlock Holmes as well, isn't it? But a lot of those
every show is Sherlock Holmes now on
yeah,
TV, yeah,
it is. Yeah.
But I don't like the way House cures all his patients by remembering something from a conversation that's nothing to do with curing his patient.
It's the flick in his mind where something happens. That doesn't happen like that, does it?
No, nothing happens like that. Like you might remember
very rarely happens like that.
Yeah, you might remember that you have to put the washing out because somebody says that they were washing something. Like, and you'll be like, "Oh shit, that reminds me." But you'll never be like, "Oh, that's it. You've just solved my case with this random conversation about washing." It's just, I don't know. TV is full of stuff like that people don't really think about. But
TV is just it's some shows is very very, I can't forget the word I'm thinking. It's so, what the fuck am I talking about?
what are you ever talking about?
It's so, a situation is there to get to the next point.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
it's a plot enhancement device.
Yeah,
And
they're going to sit there going, let's make it this way just so we can get to the next point.
Yeah. It's the same way that, like...
It's all plot driven, yeah.
In the movie Inception, like, Tom Hardy is really good at mimicking people because it makes sense for the plot that he can be that guy to show his dream to Cillian Murphy. And
Yeah.
the same way, like, Ellen Page is just in it to explain the story as it goes on and on and on. Like, just stuff like that. The same way that in Interstellar, the third guy is in the spaceship to emphasize the fact that time goes faster on one planet.
He's not in that for anything other than that reason.
Spoiler alert, skip forward like 30 seconds. They did not make a big enough deal out of the fact that he was waiting 23 years for them to get off that fucking
No, that was
planet.
kind of gotten over so quick, wasn't it?
Like,
Yeah.
and he was perfectly sane, like, having been... Oh, that was so crazy. I was not feeling that at all.
There should have been like a scene where he just told them that he tried to commit suicide 18 times while they were gone or something.
Yeah.
You know, like he had a hard time in those 23 years.
I
by
read that
himself.
apparently you can read the original Interstellar script online, which was written by Chris Nolan's brother. What's his name? Joel?
Nolan.
Joel or something? No, I think I'm thinking of the Coen brother. Christopher Nolan's brother writes with Christopher Nolan on all of his movies, and his script was incredible. I didn't read the whole thing, but it was someone made a synopsis of it on IMDb, and it fit everything together perfectly. And Chris Nolan changed it because Chris Nolan knows what the audience wants, like how to, market it towards the most amount of people or whatever. And I don't know, the original Interstellar thing looked like wouldn't have had a plot hole like that. Not a plot hole, but wouldn't have had like a gripe like that in it, if you know what I mean. And I thought that was interesting.
Jonathan. Sorry.
Yes, thank you. I knew it began with a J. Yeah. Anyway, this isn't related to superpower things. It kind of is, just in the reverse way, right? But I read this story in the Mirror this week because, weirdly enough, I googled it, and the best newspaper running with it was the Mirror. So you can imagine how shit this story started out as the Metro. But it said English-speaking man found wandering streets in Polish city, does not know name, nationality, or why he's in Poland.
I saw this.
Yeah, did they resolve it?
Don't know. The first one I thought was he's just had the most ridiculous weekend of his life.
Yeah.
And this is the only way he can.
He's had a Jack weekend, doesn't he?
Yeah, he has. It's like, do you remember Breaking Bad when Walt he gets taken away by Tuco?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he comes back potentially mental.
Yeah.
It's probably not very dissimilar to that.
Yeah, true.
He's so embarrassed about how he ended up in Poland.
Yeah.
That he's just like, oh shit, how did I get here? Who are you? What's my name?
Met a woman that's turned out to be a man, and he's shagged him, and
now he's got to go back to his wife, and he's like, honestly, honey, I had no idea how I got there.
So what you're saying is, he was diagnosed with lung cancer, and now he's started a meth business.
That's
exactly what we're saying. Yeah.
Okay. That's another thing, right? That isn't quite a superpower, but in TV, the shit that people get away with. Like, Walt, right? I'm not even talking about his drug empire that he had going while his brother-in-law's in the DEA. But the amount of cars that he destroys in that show and just gets away with it. Like, there's a scene in, like, season 2 or something where there's a guy on his Bluetooth. He's got, like, a Bluetooth hands-free kit, and he's a lawyer. And he's clearly really annoying, and Walt runs into him twice. One time he's stuck in line behind him while he's on the phone, being an obnoxious prick. And Walt just goes up to him and blows his car up. He goes up to his car and blows it up, and then just walks away. And the guy comes out, and he's like, my car. And, like, this was at a petrol station where there would have been lots of witnesses and CCTV footage. Yeah. And nothing is ever said about it ever again.
And the fact that Walt is still walking away when the bloke comes out.
What the fuck is that? Life doesn't work like that.
No.
You don't just walk up to a car.
That would have been an amazing final episode of Breaking Bad, that the police just arrested Walt for, like, blowing up that guy's car. And that's just the end of the show.
Like, the movie The Untouchables, which this isn't a spoiler alert, because it's a true story, so... Like, Elliot Ness is this detective going after Al Capone, and, like, Elliot Ness is Kevin Costner, and he's with Sean Connery and Andy Garcia, and they're this badass team of police guys, and they go around shooting gangsters, like multiple Chicago to Boston beer run heists, and just all this amazing shit from the 1920s in gangster run America during the Prohibition era. And, like, in the end, it's a bunch of other police and lawyers who put Al Capone behind bars for tax evasion. And, like, Elliot Ness died an alcoholic who didn't do anything to help the case at all, and tried to pursue Capone by way of him being a gangster. And it was a whole bunch of other guys who came up with the idea to, this guy just doesn't pay taxes. Like, let's just put him behind bars for that. And, like, the whole movie's just a fucking waste of time, because none of it is applicable to the solving of the case. And it would have been the same thing in Breaking Bad, where it's like, Mike is trying to find Heisenberg, or not Mike, Hank is trying to find Heisenberg and find out who he is and everything, and it's just some other guy comes in the last episode like, hi, I'm Jeff. Did you know that your brother-in-law blew up a car a few years ago? Yeah, we're totally arresting him for that.
Yeah.
And he was found blowing up a Corvette or whatever that car was in the middle of nowhere too. So yeah, this guy's done some fucked up shit. That would have been great. I would have preferred that to the finale of Breaking Bad. That's not true. I wouldn't have. I saw one other story about this South Carolina sailor who was lost at sea for 66 days, and he came back looking more healthy than he did before he left.
Yeah.
Like, his boat, like, I don't know, capsized or whatever, and he was at sea by himself for 66 days in an overturned boat, and like he came back like seemingly having gained weight. So the reason it's a story is that everyone is like, yeah, no, you just lied about all of that stuff.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that, like, he did lie, you know.
Yeah.
But it's an amazing story, to be fair.
But he did come back and say, God knows I'm a truthful man, so as long as God knows it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Overall. Yeah.
Where do we stand before we end this? Where do we stand on the nature versus nurture thing? Do we think it's more important, the whole DNA thing, or do you think environment plays a part in superpowers if we had them?
I think environment. I think the way that you are conditioned and educated and emotionally like taught, I get, like, how emotionally perceptive you are and just your ability to succeed in a sort of extroverted society. I think all of that stuff goes a lot further than your brain power, you know, just your raw intellectual ability, whatever that is. Like, I think that it's obviously nature can be kind to people, you know, in the way that they turn out. They can just be gifted, but I think ultimately in the world that we have, the most successful people could do so having had, you know, just the education and stuff. Like, I think nurture is more important than nature.
I don't understand why they always label it as versus.
Yeah,
because surely it's you want the both of them, don't you?
Yeah.
You want to be born with a certain amount of talent, or, you know, a DNA of enough stuff, and then you also want the environment stuff as well. You know,
Yeah.
that's when you're, you know, that's when you really cracked it. That's when you're a superhero. You know?
Yeah. But, like, there's a thing called the Dunning-Kruger effect, which sort of states that as long as you are extremely confident, your ability in anything can be sort of irrelevant because you're so confident at it that you naturally succeed at it. Like,
yeah.
That sort of thing just makes me wonder about.
But then that would border on just being ludicrous. Like, I'm confident I'll jump off this building and survive.
Oh, true, yeah. But, like, you do know that, like, everyone's had a job where their boss is a fucking idiot. Like, how did their boss get there?
But don't you think it's the most idiotic people who are the most confident? Like, we're fairly smart people, but none of us are massively extroverted. We're all pretty introverted.
I'd say Jack is extroverted.
Apart from Jack, who's clearly an idiot, though.
Wow.
Sorry. But I genuinely think that, like, the bigger idiot you are, the more confident you are. Which is why you get, like, people who walk into an office job or a banking job or whatever, and just because they're unbelievably confident, they get the job, but they have no fucking clue what they're doing.
Confidence is just a state of mind. Like, you can walk into a situation not caring about if you get found out or something like that. If that makes sense. I think
you have to be an idiot. I think if you're a clever, you overthink things to a point where sometimes you don't even do that thing. Like, there's been so many times where I've overthought doing something to a point where I've gone, well, it's not even worth it in the end. What's the point? And then not done it. A lot
of things, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think about doing something that might better my life, and then I'm just like, well, why anything?
yeah, exactly. But an idiot,
die someday anyway.
An idiot won't think about those things. They'll just be like, and then just do it.
I don't know. I kind of do agree that is definitely a thing that happens. Like, there's no doubt about it. But I also think that if you are there's a certain level of like intelligence or whatever that can lead you to harnessing your confidence and pushing it in a certain direction. You know, like you always hear about really charismatic, like for example, Pablo Escobar was
Right.
like. Would you say that he was intelligent? Like
No,
he was worth
he had,
like 30 billion. I'd say he was pretty intelligent to do what he did or whatever.
there's someone. It's the different kind of intelligence. Like I know someone who's rich as shit, like because he's made a lot of money for his business, but he's just business smart, and he's smart in a particular way, in which he knew how to make money. And I think, what's his name is probably the same, Escobar.
You reckon?
Pablo.
Yeah, I think he just knew the market, knew how to get to a certain position.
Maybe Escobar is like the greatest example of the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Maybe he is.
He just got there because he was so like his lack of intelligence sort of enhanced his ruthlessness and stuff.
Yeah,
I think people like Katie Price, people like that, like any of those Only Way is Essex people, like Joey Essex, are that, aren't they?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, definitely. But I think that those people are like caricature, almost like comic book level of villainy type of stupid, and like not the typical example of somebody. You know, like I think most successful people, like Mark Zuckerberg, for example, is incredibly fucking awkward about everything, but like the dude is a genius, and like
Yeah.
he comes across as like a really thick cunt when he's in interviews and stuff.
Mm.
He probably heard me saying that because he owns like every computer in the world, because
he owns the internet.
he owns the internet. Yeah, but like,
We've really done it now.
you know the movie The Social Network.
Yeah.
If you watched that and thought that it was real, like Mark Zuckerberg would be like the coolest dickhead in the world, but in real life he's really awkward and horrible, and like
Yeah.
he's just like comes across as just this really stupid sweaty guy, and it's really awkward and bad. I don't know. I can't really think of like because our perception of sort of any like Pablo Escobar has been like, I think Walt in Breaking Bad was sort of based on him a tiny bit, just the fact that he was going for a drugs empire or whatever. And they did hint as well that Hank gave Walt Jr. a book about the cops who caught Escobar. Like, they always want you know what's a good example? You know the movie American Gangster?
With Denzel Washington. Yeah.
So like in that movie, he's a really charismatic, hard-working guy who you almost respect by the end of the movie, because he's started this drugs empire himself, a black man. Like the feds wouldn't even go after a black guy as a drug dealer because they just were so racist. They couldn't believe a black person could have that level of superiority in that game. And like he got up at 5 a.m. and he had a work ethic and he had breakfast at a certain time. He hired his family. He gave everyone a fair wage and everything. The real guy that's based on was not like that in any way, and he was far more stupid, like what Loosemore suggests. Like, I think we have like this tendency to associate supervillainy with intelligence, and I think it's mostly down to movies. Like,
If they had any sort of intelligence, they wouldn't be as ruthless as they are sometimes.
yeah, that's what I think.
Because a lot of the stuff they do is faultless.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the stuff Walter White does in Breaking Bad is faultless and doesn't think about it, but it works because it's ruthless and people see it a different way than it actually is.
Yeah, exactly. Where like, and as well as that, in real life, like, there's a huge argument that Hitler was like the luckiest idiot in the world to get as powerful as he did. Like,
He was just
he was
a
on
good public
MDMA the whole
speaker.
time. Like some people, yeah, exactly. He was a good public speaker, and he wasn't even that good. He just got louder and louder because the invention of that speaker. Like, it's really weird because there's a really strong case that he was on MDMA for like half of his reign and everything, and that's the reason that he lost. Like, not his inability to understand how weather worked, but because he was just fucking batshit insane by the end of it. Like, I don't know. There's some great articles about how Hitler was not actually a really intelligent, super evil genius guy, but he was just, his talent was like his ability to hire the right people in the right places who did most of everything, you know?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's no doubt about, like, he hired a bunch of scientists and he had Goebbels and people who he alongside him who actually did most of the work.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's hard, like, to find an actual evil genius in that sense who is really, really intelligent, and I don't know. There's sort of like a romanticized ideology from Hollywood about like bank robbers who like have these really clever heists and everything, and they never get caught or whatever, but they're actually super nice guys and all.
Yeah.
I don't know. You don't really
Bringing it back to like superheroes and stuff, like the idea of Lex Luthor, the billionaire, like crazy supervillain, I don't think it will ever exist.
No, I don't think so either.
Because I don't think anyone's that evil and that smart at the same time. You know?
No. It's like you get that much money, you have enough money to look after your public image, and you know that if you turn into a big evil corrupt like guy, like the people are going to turn against you anyway. Like, it's in your best interest to preserve your image, and with money behind you, you have the ability to do that. So but the thing about Lex Luthor is that he is evil, like in a way that no one has ever been that evil in real life before, because it's just like destroying the world or whatever. And that's pretty fucked up. But well, maybe what about Kim Jong-un?
But they're so in their own little bubble, aren't they? They like, you know.
Pretty fucked up though.
But he's gotten to power because he's the son of somebody.
But like, what about the person who started that whole thing?
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, you get it in Africa a lot nowadays, where there is an election, but it's the most pointless election in the world.
Yeah.
Because it's just it's going to end up the same way, because it's so flawed and so you might as well not vote.
Yeah.
I think there was one person somewhere who did it where apparently there was 100% turnout and everyone voted for him.
Yeah, I've heard that. That was a few years ago.
Yeah.
I remember reading about
Which is
it.
genius, really.
Will we end the show here? It's been like an hour and 15 minutes or so already.
Really?
Yeah.
It must be more than that, because this call's been an hour 7 minutes.
Well, most of that was me. Oh no, it wasn't. That was the one before.
No, because we started again, didn't we?
Well,
Where
I thought we did it about 10-2. Just gone 10-2.
Yeah.
Did we? No.
So yeah, no, it's still an hour and.
I think clearly that we're talking about the end of the podcast means that this is the end of the podcast.
You reckon?
I don't know. It's getting pretty better, isn't it?
You don't recover from this.
Speaking of the end of podcasts.
You
just ended it.
I stare at the stars and the sky up above and think, what am I made of? Am I full of sorrow? Am I hurt and pain? Or am I filled with love? I walk by myself on the streets below and ask every child I know, do you think tomorrow will bring sun or rain? Which one of these will show? I can't say goodbye to yesterday, my friend. I keep holding on till the end. Out of the darkness, there is no other way than the light leading to yesterday. It's there that I'll find inner peace, not war, and dreams that I let slip away. I'll find the joyfulness I'm looking for way back in yesterday. the sounds of laughter, a warm hug, a smile, a kiss from you to me. I fall to my knees, I cry and I cry. Love, do not pass me by. Happy ever after, please stay for a while. Make time, refuse to fly. I can't say goodbye to yesterday, my friend, 'cause I know how good it has been. Facing forever, here I stand, come what may. Bring the old, bring the new, yesterday. It's there that I'll find inner peace, not war, and dreams that I let slip away. I'll find the joyfulness I'm looking for way back in yesterday.
Was ist gang on, guys? Elfenbeer und What?
Und willkommen
Oh.
to das Midnight Hour.
How come you never get that there's a second sentence?
Yeah, I don't know. I
It
don't
always just blows your mind. Like,
It's like half his screen is broken.
going on, guys? Mein Name ist Elton Nero und welcome to the Midnight Hour. Do we not want to put in what episode it is?
as if we're using that as the intro.
Very true.
Why? It's a great German accent.
Do you think?
Yeah. What is going on, guys?
Oh dear.
I could do it as like Arnold.
Yeah, do that.
Guys, what is going on, guys?
Nailed it, man. Nailed it.
Do you know that 38 in German is, what is it? It's 1820, isn't it? It's Act on Dreisig.
Dreisig is 30, isn't it?
Acknowledge.
Oh, is it?
Zwanzig
Oh, it's
is
8:30. Zwanzig, yes, man. So Drazig is 8. Yes, 8:30.
Yeah, that's really. See, I think if our numerical system, when it comes to numbers, were more like that, I'd be better at maths because I'd be forced into doing maths every day,
Yeah.
and that would be handy for a guy like me. You know.
I do know.
Have we actually? This is surely the outtakes at the end that we're doing here.
Clearly, yeah.
I mean, if you're already
What?
recording, if you've got that, if you've got that fucking accent.
What is going on, guys?
This is borderline racist, right?
I'll write out what you
Oh,
have
it's
to say.
borderline racist, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, let's do it in an Irish accent to even it up.
Yeah.